I was waiting for my friend to finish her broadcast before I started mine, but I got this. Excuse me. There's been a lot going on. So first, I'm going to read to you a rant that I wrote about work because it's been getting steadily worse to the point where my caseworker and my therapist, my husband, and several of my friends online have been strongly suggesting that I leave my job. And this has been building up for at least a month or two. So yeah, I'm going to read that to you. Actually, I want an attention whore first. So let me find the stream and send it to my friend first. So let me just give me a sec. Where's me? Where is me? Hello. My channel. Me. Yes. Okay, yes. This is me. This is the me. All right. Okay. All right. I don't know if anyone's actually going to join. I'm going to click out of the screen and then I'm going to redo this rant. So I've been at the same firm since 2016. Things were pretty great at first, but lately they've been less great. We're getting more new clients per year, but we're still a small firm, so we've had more demands put on us. Recently, I was told that if I take another day off that either wasn't requested in advance or for which I don't have a doctor's note, they're going to fire me. They expect the same volume of productivity from me now as they did before I had my baby. Actually, they want me to be more productive. It's a special needs law firm, or it's a law firm that serves clients with loved ones with special needs. And it's kind of a niche market. Like, we do conservatorships and estate planning, and we're like one of the best. So a lot of people have started coming to us in the past few years. And, I didn't take enough time off after I had my baby. So, hi, Bells. Hello, I'm glad to see you. So I took I think this is all in the rant. Anyway, this is the first time I felt stressed out about work. I'm burning out, and I'm burning out fast. There are new rules about time off now. We have to request it 60 days in advance as opposed to previously when it was 14 days, and only one person can take off at a time, which means I can't take the rest of my maternity leave. I'm entitled to 5 more months of maternity leave through the state of California, but I can't take it because one of our other girls is having a baby in October. So anyway, when COVID started, I wasn't part of the skeleton crew, but they had me come back a week before I went into labor. I got 5 weeks off from the day I went into labor, unpaid, because I didn't know I could request leave from the state, and they begged me to come back as soon as possible. But because I hadn't taken enough time off, I started having things go wrong with my body. And this is includes joint pain, like in my ankles, my hips, my knees, my legs are just all kinds of messed up. Part of it is from being 100 pounds overweight for the last 10 years. And part of it is just, I don't know, stress, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah, it sucks. Let me turn this back on. I hope I can be heard. Oh, Bells went away. That's sad. Okay. Anyway, so I live on the 3rd floor, and they keep forgetting that I live on the 3rd floor. So if something's fucked up with my leg joints, I can't walk down the stairs in the 10 minutes to work. So, but they're like, oh, you're not a team player because you keep calling out. So anyway, my performance and attendance weren't up to scratch, and I didn't get the raise I thought I would at the end of last year. Loki says they screwed me over, but I know my performance wasn't good enough to ask for a raise, but I just had a baby, but other people have babies and go back to work just fine. I've always had weak health, so for the past 5.5 years, I actually have been, calling out a lot because, I have things in my brain, I have things in my body, I have just things just going wrong all the time, and I can't really predict it. This is going to, come into play later. But I'm the fastest typist, and I draft conservatorships faster than anyone, too. They only raise my wage when the county of Santa Clara tells them to, so I've been working minimum for 5 years. They've said they don't know what they would do without me, but they aren't willing to pay me enough to reflect that or let me take time off of my health. I get 24 sick hours a year, and I prefer to use them at the end of the work year. At this point, if I needed a mental health break, I would need my therapist to write me a note. Before these new rules went into effect, I was able to schedule a week off for my son's upcoming first birthday. I'm going to see how I feel after the break, and if things don't improve, I'm going to turn in my 2 weeks notice and go back to college. Loki's fine with me just taking athletic classes until I can concentrate on academics. He says he wants me to be happy. He wants to go back to work because he's going stir crazy. I wanted to wait until March when it will have been 6 years because it would look better on my resume, but Loki, my community solutions caseworker, Loki and my community solutions caseworker feel like I can't handle much more of this. And so at that point, I didn't know what I was going to do. But unfortunately, something else happened. So I have 4 impacted wisdom teeth. Oh, I think Belle's left. Did she leave? Really? Sad. Just give me 1 sec while I check this. Oof. Okay, so sorry. I have 4 impacted wisdom teeth, and they've been causing me some discomfort, obviously. So, right. So, because of that, I've been in a lot of, pain. And so what I did was I scheduled this, or I tried to, okay, so I went to see my dentist, okay, so first things first, I went to see my dentist, and my dentist took x-rays. It shows all 4 of my wisdom teeth are impacted, and then they said, we can't help you, you need to see an oral surgeon. Okay, so then I called my insurance and had them refer me to an oral surgeon. I went to see the oral surgeon. The first oral surgeon they recommended, they said they couldn't help me and it has to be done in a hospital setting. Okay, so the closest hospital to me is a county hospital, and my opinion of them had been improving because during COVID times, they were actually pretty good about, getting us our shots, and if I went to the ER, I got taken seriously. Yeah, that changed. I was in so much pain the other night. I called 911 at 3 a.m. and had them take me to Valley Med on an emergency basis. Now I had 2 problems at that time. There was my jaw, my teeth, and then I was having trouble breathing because when I would breathe in, I'd have a sharp pain right here. So they told me that I have inflammation in my ribs. Okay, so let's back up. So I had to explain this to the MT and to the nurse and to the doctor. I had this conversation multiple times that I was at the hospital because I needed surgery that I was told had to be done in a hospital setting. People kept asking, did you see a dentist? And I was like, yes. And then they sent me to an oral surgeon, and the oral surgeon said I had to go to a hospital. I had to repeat this 1,000,000 times, and I felt like nobody was really listening to me, and I got very frustrated. Okay. So, and then, nurse wanted to do blood tests. I said, do it in my hand, and she did it here. She was supposed to do it here. She did it here, and she did it she did the needle wrong. And I was like, ow, that hurts. And she's like, don't raise your voice at me. And I was like, you put the needle in wrong, you stupid. I didn't actually say you put the needle in wrong, you stupid bitch, but it's, it's what I was thinking, and then they come out and they gave me Tylenol and lidocaine. And I was like, this isn't going to help. I've already told you that I've done this. It hasn't helped. And I didn't realize this, but someone in Belle's server, I think it was actually Belle's, pointed out that they might have seen me as a drug seeker, but I don't like drugs. It's in my chart. I did used to take medical marijuana, but obviously I stopped when I got pregnant, and then I got edibles again recently because none of my, I built up a resistance to my actual pain medicines and muscle relaxers that I need to function, right? That I need to actually go to work and be productive. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to get fired. So I don't want to get fired. So I want to be able to work. Anyway, so that did not cross my mind. What I was thinking at the time was, hey, I need oral surgery. I need something to actually be done about this inflammation. Because like I had talked to the doctor and, she had diagnosed me with rib inflammation. And then I told her about the pain, the tooth thing. And she's like, oh, well, that could be a factor because if you have inflammation in your jaw, then it can cause inflammation elsewhere. And I was like, oh, really? Okay, so you'll help me then. Right? No. They gave me Tylenol and lidocaine patch, and they kicked me out. And I made a scene. I panicked. I have anxiety, and I tend to not really react well to conflict and to not getting what I need. Anyway, so there was like a crowd. I made a scene. Made it clear I wasn't going to leave. And then there was like a crowd of nurses being like, oh, why is she crying? And they were like super bitchy and judgmental about it. And I was like, because I'm in pain and nobody's helping me, imagine that louder. Cause I did lose my voice for several hours afterwards. Anyway. And so then they had the police escort me out, and the police they weren't concerned about a human being in pain. They were concerned that I wasn't acting right. They were concerned that I was expressing pain inappropriately. I went to reform school, so that's actually, it's a huge button for me that I don't really like when people are just accusing me of behaving wrong when I'm trying to express that I'm in pain and I need help. And so I had a hard time, and I was trying to explain this, and the officer was like, well, what does it say on your paper? And I was like, the paper isn't relevant. It's not what I'm talking about. He's like, oh, yes, it is relevant because that's what you were treated for. I wasn't treated for anything. Nobody helped me. And, I tried to explain this to someone else that like saw me in crying, and they were just like, oh, you need to see a dentist. This is a hospital. I know it's a goddamn hospital. I was sent to a hospital. The oral surgeon told me to go to a hospital. But of course, Valley Med doesn't actually want to help anybody. They don't do shit. They just want to collect their paycheck and go home. And like my opinion of them had been improving, and now it's not. And so I actually should have asked the ambulance to take me up to Stanford because they do have an oral surgery department. And my dad had said, if you call 911 and it's the law, they have to help you. They have to treat you. Well, apparently they don't, and they won't. So I was very frustrated. Someone else butted into my conversation with the cop and started scolding me, and I, told him to fuck off. And like I was so angry. And I had some pretty dark thoughts yesterday and today about it. So I watch a whole lot of Burn Notice, and if you're familiar with Burn Notice, you can probably kind of see where my brain was going there. But yeah, I wanted to do I didn't want to do, but I was like hoping someone would do the Fiona solution, but with them inside. Yeah. So anyway, so I called my insurance and told them what the problem was, and I had to explain to the insurance guy multiple times what was going on too, because medical insurance and dental insurance, they're different. So the medical insurance guy at Anthem Blue Cross had to call the dental insurance guy at Denti-Cal and get the dental insurance guy to call a hospital that does oral surgery. And he was about to do a warm connect. Okay, but then the call dropped, and I was like too tired because I had been awake actually I hadn't slept at all, but I'd called, the ambulance at 3 a.m. At this point, it was like 8:30 or 9 a.m, and the call dropped, and I wasn't able to. And besides, like, the hospitals that my oral surgeon had suggested didn't pick up the phone. So Valley Med was like a last resort. I should have been smart and gone to Stanford, but So my oral surgeon had suggested 2 hospitals, one in Oakland, one in San Francisco. I called the one in San Francisco because Oakland has kind of a reputation. You know, my dad used to do deliveries there. He didn't really enjoy the experience, so. And Loki doesn't want to drive to Oakland. He would rather drive to San Francisco. So I called San Francisco, and what happened was that I would be on hold for 10 minutes, and then it would prompt me to leave a message. It would prompt me to either stay on hold or leave a message. I ended up leaving 4 messages. The first 3 stating my situation, and the 4th one saying, if I don't get a call back, and these were on different days, okay? If I don't get a call back, I'm contacting the ombudsman and stating that you won't pick up your phone and you're not willing to actually help patients. You're just sitting on your butts. So I did not get a call back. And so then, anyway, back here, the other one was Oakland, and they have like this circular phone tree. Oh, press this button for this, 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 and it just never really stops. So the Oakland one is the one that the Denti-Cal insurance guy that was on the line with the Anthem insurance guy called, and they ended up calling me back and giving me the number and all of that. And I was like, I will write it down. I will have Loki try it for me because, hold lines make me very anxious. So I have Loki make all the calls, stay on hold for me. But I will probably look into other options. And so I looked up a couple of other options. There was another dentist that had been, another oral surgeon that had been suggested by my insurance before I went to the first oral surgeon. I know this sounds really confusing. I probably lost a lot of people I know. Anyway, the next one that I called, it was recommended by my insurance, but the receptionist didn't know the services they offer. I asked, okay, I'd like to schedule an appointment. And they're like, okay, we'll call you back in a week or 2 to schedule an appointment. And you'll probably get the actual surgery like in July or August. And I asked, okay, do you offer sedation? Because I need to be sedated. And they're like, I don't have that information. I'll have to transfer you. And I was like, no, that's okay. Just call me back. Okay. Because I'm not dealing with being on hold. So then, as a last resort, after the thing with Valley Med didn't work out, as a last resort, I texted my ex-boyfriend and asked him, hey, so where did you go to get your wisdom teeth extracted? And so then he sent me the information. I called them, and the person on the other line was very friendly, very helpful, willing to help me right away. Scheduled me, the soonest appointment was for July 1st. Not July 1st. I'm so sorry, July 6th. July 1st is my son's birthday. I was just looking at my calendar. Anyway, so July 6th. And I said, okay, I'll take it. I want these teeth out as soon as possible. And they're like, oh, okay, so we can do an extraction the same day as your consultation. I said, do you do sedation? They says, yes. And I was like, okay. They says, do you have insurance? I says, I have Denti-Cal, but I can pay out of pocket. And they says, we don't work with Denti-Cal. And I was like, okay. I figured I would have to pay out of pocket anyway, but it goes to show you like the service difference between people who don't work with insurance provider or don't work with state insurance. They are so much more willing to help you than the people that do work with state insurance. The people that do work with state insurance, they don't want anything to do with you, but the people that don't take the insurance will be as solicitous as possible because they want your money. But whatever, as long as I get the teeth taken out, because I think this one's starting to get infected. So, okay, back to my work thing. This is all interconnected. So, I told my supervisor that I might need to switch out the 6th, which is a work day for me. I work part-time. Okay. I might need to switch out the 6th for another day. Okay. And she's like, but that's right after you come back from break. And I was like, okay, I could come in the 5th. That's a holiday. Okay. Well, I can't control what time the oral surgeon was available to see me. I can't control their schedule. I did not plan this. I just got that appointment this morning. And I'm going to have to take medical leave probably the rest of that week after surgery because I don't know how long it'll take me to recover the surgery. And she said, Okay, well, I have you down for just earlier that day. I'm going to be on a medical fast earlier that day. I'm going to be on a medical fast from 6 to 8 hours before the goddamn surgery or before the goddamn consultation. I don't even know if there's going to be a surgery. It depends on, like, if they're going to want me to pay up front or if they're going to bill me. And either way, I'm going to need my sister's help, probably. Unless they're charging less than $3,000 per tooth. And either way, I'm not looking forward to it. Anyway. God. I know, I've been ranting for a while. It's like 20 minutes now. So, I also can't control how long I'm going to recover from surgery, but she's like acting like I'm a slacker. She's like, oh, you can talk about your schedule with your other coworker tomorrow. And I'm just like, no, I can't, because I don't know how long I'm going to take to recover. I don't know. I just don't. Okay. Hi, Bells. You're probably going to want to watch the replay because, like, I just, like, explained all the things in a rant while you were doing your thing there. Yeah. So I can't control when I'm going into the consultation. I would have loved to have gotten an appointment, maybe Friday, not Wednesday or Thursday, because my son's birthday is on Thursday. I would have loved to. Did I? No, I got an appointment for their first availability, which was July 6th, which happens to be a work day for me. Could I put it off? No, I'm in pain. I was in the fucking emergency room for this goddamn pain. No, I cannot put it off. Yes, I want surgery same day as my consultation. And the fact that they don't understand this, and they're saying, I'm not a team player. Me. They didn't include me in the skeleton crew. And they pressured me to come in when I was 8.5 months pregnant. And then I got 5 weeks off unpaid because we're a small firm and I didn't realize I could get leave through the state, is through EDD. And if I had known that I could stay off work for 6 months and just get EDD, I would have done that. Luckily, our son does qualify for SSI because he has a heart condition. So, like, my dad's like, you don't want to quit. You want them to fire you so you can get unemployment. I'm not going to apply for unemployment because if I apply for unemployment, it'll dick with the numbers of our son's benefits because that's based on our income until he turns 18. So this kind of behavior has become increasingly common in healthcare. Yes, it has. I made a comment on Bell's stream earlier saying people who have no empathy, people who see patients as attention seeking or, drug seeking or whatever should not be in the medical field. Like, if you can't notice there's a human being in pain who needs your help, like, okay, the fact that they didn't have the facilities to help me, okay, nothing anyone can do about that. They could have at least acted like they cared. They could have at least been like, I'm so sorry, we don't have the facilities here to help you, but let me give you the number of someone who can. Let me refer you over to someone who can. They did not do that. They had the police escort me off the campus. Yeah. And I basically was like, I said some really nasty, really mean things. And I thought some really nasty and really mean things that, like, do I have a reputation? Am I a public figure? Doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, I said you should have been aborted and so should your parents. And I hope I hope you get sick and die, because I was like hoping that they would feel like the despair that I felt, the helplessness that I felt, and the no one being there to give a shit about them. And like this one nurse who had stopped me on the sidewalk because she saw me crying, and she just like being nosy and she was super judgmental. And then I basically told her to dick off and she's like, I'm just trying to be nice. And I was like, you're not being nice. This is not kindness. This is not kindness. You're throwing judgment in my face. You're judging the way that I am behaving as a human being in pain. Like, extreme physical pain will drive you fucking crazy. Okay, and that's why, extreme physical pain and extreme emotional pain will drive you crazy, literally crazy. And that is why there are so many crazy people in the city, is because The only thing anyone can afford is the county hospital, and county hospital don't want to deal with anyone. Okay, let's see, going back up to Bells' comment, she says, you are at risk for abscess. An abscess in your lower jaw can go into your heart and kill you. Yes, thank you. I've had multiple heart attacks already. Don't need another one. That should be in my chart somewhere. They did note in my chart about my, me complaining about my jaw pain, my tooth pain. That mollified me slightly, and they didn't put anything in my chart about like me acting like a wackadoo afterwards. They said I was calm and cooperative, which probably was my first mistake. I shouldn't have cooperated with them. I should have just been like, every time they asked me a question, just start crying more. Because like the more cooperative you are, like the less that they think you actually need help. But then if you're too uncooperative, then they think you're a problem. The surgery is medically necessary. Yes, it is. They should have given you a referral. Yes, they should have, and they did not. Yeah, the VA treats my dad better than that too. He's a veteran. I don't remember which war, but he is 73, so one of the ones more than 50 years ago. Anyway, so he said he went to the VA and he had an emergency surgery done when he didn't even qualify for dental. So, okay. I don't know if it was numb. Let's see. Is the left side of your face swollen? No. The camera's flipped, but this is my left side, and no. Oh, well, thank you. Yes. He was a chef, and he taught me how to cook, and he's a good dad. And he's been so worried about me. He's been like giving me advice, like just so much. And some of it is applicable to my situation. A lot of it is not as applicable to my situation, but like I explained where I was coming from and all of that. And he kind of understands, but like we are, how most parents and children, they're like one generation apart. We're 2 generations apart. So sometimes there is this communication gap. And Bells, I know I said this to you, like my very first email to you, but thank you for your service also. I know that it was really hard on you, and I'm glad you survived it. Can't run any military unit without the cooks. Precisely. Food is so important. I mean, look, I'm like, I don't know if you can tell, I'm like 200 pounds. Oh, you can't tell when I'm standing like this. Okay, when I'm standing like this, maybe you can tell. I still look like I'm pregnant. I actually lost weight after the baby and then gained it back. Aw. So, yeah, so that is my rant. And, yeah, everything's a shit show. You're 3. Well, that's okay. I mean, I've got friends who are, 200 and up, 300 and up, and like I told you on the stream that you took down, you have a beautiful soul, so you're beautiful. I appreciate you very much, and I'm really glad you tuned in. It's good to have someone to talk to and all that. I'm so stressed out. I called my, I was talking to my case manager today. Oh, our hand's back. Yay. Yay. I was talking to my case manager today and telling her about all of this. And she's like, yeah, you need to quit your job because of like how they're kind of being about this whole surgery thing and about like the timing of it. Like, yes, well, I have to request time off 60 days in advance, but I was in the emergency room. They don't know it's a dental surgery. They just know I'm having health problems and I'm going into surgery. I don't tell them my medical business because it's my medical business. And the more details they know, the more of a chance there is that they'll find something to pick at, right? So I'll just say, I tell them, I was in the ER and the hospital didn't treat me, so I found somewhere that would. and I have a surgery consultation, and they're complaining about the timing of that. Meanwhile, so I have a week off for my son's birthday to prepare, host, and recover from. No, I'm just burned out. But anyway, I have a week off for my son's birthday. They want me to work from home on my week off. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that, but it's going to be my last week working. Yeah, you know what? I have a few friends on Facebook who like commented on that also. Let me just. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Share screen. Yeah. Ikara. Don't do that. Don't share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, not you. Okay, I understand. I absolutely know that feeling. Don't wait, look for a new job. And I'm like, so in this, I was like, I'm just going to go back to school. I registered for De Anza and I was accepted. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go back to work straight away. I'm going to, get a certification in accounting, and then I'm going to look at whatever classes tickle my fancy. But first, before I do any of that, I'm going to take some time off, and then I'm going to do some athletic classes to get my fat ass into a different shape. Then one of my friends says, if you can financially afford the break, you should take it ASAP because mental health is super important, and clearly the way they treat you is affecting you, and how can it not? This is so not okay. Yes, I appreciate that. Actually, I forgot to react to these comments. Okay. I second her comment. Your mental health is important, and doubly so since you have a baby. If you can afford it, take the break. Yes, thank you. Oh, there's replies to this? Okay, yes. Okay. Yeah, she meant she's glad I have time off for my birthday week. Who's messaging me? Oh, Piffy offers all the hugs. I love you too, Piffy. I'm glad you have time off for the birthday week, but I meant general, long term, you shouldn't put yourself in a position mental health will suffer for a job, because at the end of the day, every employee is seen as expendable, even if they're brilliant at your job as you are. Thank you, Anna. I am not brilliant at my job. I am the dumb bunny of my job, but it's because I don't like having to use my brain at work. I am an admin for a reason. I like to like relax and do like admin-y stuff, like stuffing envelopes and printing out labels and stuff like that. I don't like to think. Anyway, workplaces don't seem to care much about the individual so much as their own targets and corporate nonsense. And I honestly thought that this one was different. I thought they actually cared about people, but apparently not. And then let's see. Yeah. And then my friend Lucy actually straight up said the company's abusing me. And I'm like, whoa, that is some strong verbiage. Yeah. Don't work from home. I thought you meant don't share my screen. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I misunderstood you. It's just transcriptions. Like, if I can get them done, I can get them done. I can probably do them over the weekend. They're paying me hourly for that, but they're still only paying me minimum, which, okay, so I live in the Silicon Valley where housing costs are like, the cheapest house in San Jose is like $1 million, I think. And rent, so yeah, I have a grantor who is very generously paying rent for Loki and me and our baby. And the cap on that, my limit for that, or the limit that they gave me was $3,000, that I had to find an apartment for less than $3,000. And I did, and I was very lucky to, because it is very difficult to find an apartment for under $3,000 that has more than one bedroom. And actually, we need to move to something with 2 bathrooms, and preferably in the same complex. But yeah, because when our little guy gets potty trained, having like 3 people, 2 adults and 1 child sharing 1 bathroom is not going to work so well. And then, of course, when he gets old enough to need his own bed, I'm going to have to, this is going to be his room, because, yeah, right now it's my room. Right now it's like my craft space and all that. But Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's unreasonable. They keep asking more and more and more and more of me, but they're not paying me more and more and more and more. And they're like, oh, well, we'll be happy to give you a raise if your performance increases. Motherfucker, I had a baby. My son is 11 months old. And when we first had the conversation about my attendance, he was maybe 8 months old, okay? Or 6, or I don't know. He was young, okay? It takes the mother's body a year to recover on average from childbirth, the hormones and getting their cycle back and everything. And I took aside the new girl, the one who's having her baby in October. I took her aside and I said, look, I know that we're really busy and I know that you're new, but you can get 6 months paid maternity leave through the state. Do that because our firm does not pay maternity leave. They say that we're not big enough to do that. And you are going to burn out if you try to only take 1 month off. She's like, oh, I was just going to take like a month. And I was like, no, don't take the full 6 months because you're going to need it. You're going to regret it if you don't. And so, I kind of like shot myself in the ass, but maybe saved her relationship with her son. It took me a while to bond with my son. Like right now I love him, obviously. But I had severe postpartum depression and, I'm not going to lie. One of the reasons I went back to work as soon as I did, one, I felt pressured, and two, I figured, well, I'm better at work than I am at babies. So, but then they started putting more and more demands and making it more and more inhospitable and more unreasonable considering my situation. And like I said, like I have mental illness, I have physical illness, and I can't always make it up and down the stairs. And they're acting like I'm slacking off on purpose. I am so not. Like I have complained to my sister, whom I believe is watching this because she's commenting at Discord. Yes, she agrees about taking the break. Okay. I asked her, am I lazy? I said, I feel like I'm being lazy. I feel like I'm being like this, entitled millennial. One time I was complaining to her about this when I was burning out or burnt out. I don't remember the exact context. I don't remember who it was about, work or projects. And she's like, you are the least lazy person I know because I'm always involved in like 10 projects at a time. Like sometimes I'll sit back and watch TV, but I'll be making something. I hope I didn't spill any. I have my bands. I have my little totally innocuous gray and emerald little necklace that I'm making. It's a keychain right now because I had to cast it off real quick because I had to wait for my new bands to come in the mail. And then I didn't pick it back up again because I was doing Pride theme for Never Worn Boutiques, which is my friend's Etsy shop that I contribute to. I contribute jewelry and stuff. In fact, I'm actually going to link that. Yeah, here we go. It was, let's see. She said she got it back. She had she had a little bit of trouble with it. We'll be back up and running on the 28th. Okay, well, all right. So I guess we're not doing Pride Month merch on Pride Month, but that's okay because we're not pandering. We can do it anytime. But that's her shop. You can see it. That's her shop. And then I have also on Facebook, I have my band page, which also has, I've got 100 likes and 106 followers. I got some haters following me. I like that. Gotta love the free attention. So I'm actually going to stream it or share my screen again. So I'm going to hide this comment, share my screen. Yes, clickety clackety. Oh, not that one. This one. This is my band. Well, I'm the manager on paper, and then the other me is the singer and all of that. And like our profile picture is like a cartoonified version of all of us. This is Raspberry Tea. This is Yandi Sean. That's me. That's Satoru Hayashi, and that's Madeline, Sister Madeline. Yeah. And we make mediocre music. We actually have a song called Mediocre Music. Well, there's a hook that says, this is a generic pop song. Okay, so album-themed ponchos. Let's look at my merch, y'all. So album-themed ponchos, and I named all these ponchos. Oh, this one is display only, but this was Episemitism. And this one, I don't know. Okay, so we have Elitist, which is monochrome and red, which is, Elitist is the album that Loki and R.I.P. Ash, my first husband, they wrote these poems, and then I put them to music. Midnight Moonlight, songs I wrote when I was 7 years old, 7 to 13. Chernabog! Chernabog is the one my sister and I did on my birthday. Full album title is Chernabog from Birthday to Deathbed, but it doesn't fit most of these. Epic Corruption is Baby Yarn, because my ex-boyfriend who used to be in my old band with me, we called the band Epic Corruption, and then I made this banner, and he's like, kittens and angels aren't metal, and I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah, they are. Anyway, Grudge Wank that's Grudge Wank for Days, and Grudge Wank 2, Akuma no Weeaboo. It's black and neon. And then FAM. What does FAM stand for again? What does FAM stand for? Greens and blues and grays? It's not one of the ones about James, is it? Hold on. Music. Freaks and Misfits. Okay. Get Out and Get It Out There is Earth Tones. That was I had 2 debut albums, Freckles and Get Out and Get It Out There. And those were the ones where I just whenever I finished producing a song, I just slapped it on an album, put it out. Now I'm doing it by theme. Daddy Issues, red, white, blue, and pink, because fucking hell, this TV used to have some daddy issues. But anyway, yeah, Daddy Issues. And DUST stands for Dirty Ugly Soccer Torment. Songs that Bells and I wrote together. Which, once I get my voice back, I'm going to ruin it again, because we're going to do some metal. Holla. So yeah, these are and this is just an example of what I can do, but I can make granny square ponchos. I'm also going to experiment with other styles of ponchos, and so this page is where you can request. It says buy now or add to cart, but really you would just PM me or PM the shop or whatever and say, hey, I want this, and I'd be like, okay. And it's supplemental in case you can't get a hold of Nevermore Boutiques or you want something made to order. I also do the handbags. I can do, they're not all $60. No, some of them are cheap. Look at that. Got totes. I prefer to work with acrylics. And then customs. So you've got all these different options here that depending. And I don't know how much to charge for the bamboo yarn, because I know that you make that yourself. And she says I'm the opposite of lazy. That is sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know how much to charge for the bamboo yarn if you want me to split that with you, but I've got a belt loop bag, my little saddlebags that I wear on the hips because wearing a purse is hard on my shoulders, and then a big old purse, which is what is pictured here. I made this purse. I'm gonna zoom out so you can actually see the GD purse. Look at that. I made that. It took me a while. It took me 2 C dramas. And then Pride accessories. I've got bi, trans, pan, ace, non-binary, intersex, and gay. I don't know by gender. I guess that would be non-binary. The examples shown are just trans and gay because that's what I have. But yeah. And then, yeah, latex-free rubber loom bands. And I guess that's the one without the pendants. And then the other ones have the pendants. But they're all latex-free bands because I don't work with latex. I try not to work with nickel or copper because I'm allergic. But some of the alloys, it's hard to tell what's in them until I wear them and get a rash. So, no promises there. And then we have house accessories. I named it house accessories, or house pride accessories. And then I tried to be super sneaky. Look at that. Anaby. I did that on purpose. I tried to be super sneaky with the, yeah. Lion. Lion just says lion. And then these are like the examples. Little lion ones. And then those are the snake ones. And then other pendant, please specify. Like someone wanted like a pad foot one. I was just like, okay, I could do like a little dog paw on the red and gold one. But like, and I measured this in centimeters because like it's universal. Inches, not everyone's going to know that. Centimeters is pretty easy. So yeah. Yep. So that's my band stuff. And all of the like the ponchos and bags and all this, I make things and then I send them to Nevermore. And then she puts them up on her shop. And yes, I reviewed something in her shop because like I'm not listed as like a co-owner or something like that. But yeah, they're taking a break. But so she puts stuff in her shop, and then if something goes wrong with her shop, then mine is a backup. Stop sharing. There we go. You are so mad. Okay. Let's see what you are so mad about. Deck ball. Okay. Not infinite space. I'm going to assume not music, memes, and videos. Current events? Is it current events? Right, sorry, I was like babbling and not looking at the screen, so. Oh, screw you, Washington. No! Screw you, Washington Post. Okay. Blah, 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 Trump, blah, 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 COVID. I can't see the damn article because, okay, whatever. I kind of get, like, the gist of it. All right. God damn it. Okay. It's in God damn it. One true crime guy you will never watch again. Okay, I'm not putting this up on the screen. I'm just going to, like, turn my phone and look at it. Do you want me to read it out or? Oh. You know what? That is a very good point. Can I put that up? Let me put that up. Open Discord in my browser. I'm just going to put up the screenshot. All right. And I'm going to dun, 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 dun. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Ikira. Okay. So you commented, just a small note, I live with bipolar disorder. Manic depressive is an outdated term for it. It's a little offensive. All I ask is that you be mindful of that and maybe don't use it. Otherwise, great overview. If you feel offended, please stop watching my videos. If you cannot make the difference between offending someone and telling a story, I really don't think you should watch my videos. I use all these words. All of these words that are not very nice. And my good buddy, if you can't tell a story without using those words, you're not telling a very good story. You're just not very good at telling a story. These are not offensive words. They are words I am not going to read out. You know, I mean, I do have a song that mentions, quote, druggies and whores, but it's like, it was written by a 14-year-old boy, so, yeah. Anyway, naming them differently don't make it anything else. You don't feel offended by the term. You feel offended sharing the same disorder with a serial killer. No, I'm sure there are plenty of serial killers that have the same disorder that I do, but you're not going to call them whatever. Whatever. Okay. I'm not offended or wasn't. I was supplying you with a proper medical term. All those words are something I wouldn't turn a hair at, but manic depressive is just not correct. My suggestion, look at the DSM-5. I was trying to help you, but that's okay. I have other true crime creators to watch who are not so thin-skinned. Please don't waste keystrokes in replying. I'll be turning off notifications. Yeah. Also, female serial killers kind of sucks because they had like this one video where there's like this teenage girl with an older guy, and it was not a great situation, but they were painting her as like this seductress. She was like so manipulative and evil. Like she was 14, maybe? I forget. I think she was 14. I've been meaning to do a react to that for years and not gotten around to it. So, okay. And then, yeah. Pathologizing helps nobody. Just, that's kind of like the same reaction I had to this one person wrote a book about a little girl. I think I shared this with you, or I shared it with Saint Bone Daddy, who's my sibling-in-law. Saint Bone Daddy is his name on Messenger. But okay, so I shared it with you or Saint Bone Daddy, and it was, is she Ruby, is she Chloe, or is she lying? And it was about this little girl who either has dissociative identity disorder or was faking dissociative identity disorder. Pro tip: is she lying? Is not the hot take you think it is, because DID is pathologized enough as it is. Like, I tolerated Mary Higgins Clark's all around the town when, she was using the outdated term for it, which is multiple personality disorder. And, I tolerated that because there were other elements to it, and she didn't present it as something. But again, if you can't tell a story and not use terms that people are saying, hey, I have this, please don't use this term, maybe kind of don't, because that's just, you don't need to do that. Like, okay, so I have autism. I'm on the autism spectrum, and I have a hard time dealing with people who are not so I appear fairly typical, like 70% of the time. And I have a hard time dealing with people who present less typically than I do. Like, there's some people that don't like function labels. I actually like them because, like, they determine whether or not you're eligible for services. So I've used them at work. So I would be considered high functioning because I can hold down a job. I'm verbal. I can hold eye contact. Blah, 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 blah. I can pick out whether appropriate clothing. I can handle finances and all that. Okay. I have a hard time tolerating people who are less good at that than I am. I have a hard time but I'm not going to say, oh, hey, Billy's, R word because he's lower functioning. No, that's mean. Yeah. And I mean, Loki will say stuff like that. Like, when he is playing GTA, he'll be like, oh my God, and he'll just say whatever words he wants to say. He will say, all kinds. And I'll just be like, okay, please don't use those words when I'm streaming, but, there are at-home words and then there are outside words. And so those are his at-home words. It's like you wouldn't say them in a PTA meeting, but, like, if you're just sitting there gaming, it's just us in the living room, that's fine. And because neither of us really want to censor ourselves around the little one, we're probably going to teach him the concept of at-home words where you could say whatever you want, but outside words you don't say. Like, you don't say God fucking damn it in front of grandpa, because he's gonna be like, what did you just say? Do I need to wash your mouth out with soap? So, but if you're really frustrated at home, you can't help it, that's something a little different. So, but if you're making a video and someone is saying, hey, I have this disorder and I don't appreciate this kind of language, please don't use this language. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you're clutching your pearls. I can't believe you're offended. You just don't want to share a disorder with a serial killer. No, honey, no. And, like, you also don't have to have a disorder to, like, not all mentally ill people are violent, and not all violent people are mentally ill or have a mental illness. So, again, pathologizing people helps no one. And I just went on, like, this whole social justice rant about that. Yeah, so the terms have changed and he's being a wiener about it. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, people should avoid using outdated terms whenever necessary. Like, we don't use MR anymore. We use intellectual disability now. But you can't just, like, say, oh my God, he's so intellectually disabled either, because it's rude. Like, just don't be rude. It's not that difficult, says the person who screamed at a nurse and a cop the other day. Whatever. I didn't call them. I didn't pathologize them. I just called them assholes. Anyway. They did so much weird. The DSM-5 did so much weird stuff to make it easier for psychiatrists while muddying the waters for psychologists. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. It's been a while since I've taken a psych class of either kind. So, yeah, I forget there's a distinction. And you were not and asked about it. That is correct. You were not. Okay, well, unfortunately, I do have work tomorrow. I think it's going to be my last day at work. I did say that I wrote a message to my coworker. I said that on the 7th, I'm going in for a consultation, possibly same-day surgery. They want me to fast 6 to 8 hours beforehand. I'm not sure how long recovery will be. I know the timing isn't great, but they didn't have any availability during my week off. If I'm well enough and able to come in early, I will. Otherwise, I'm probably going to have to quit. I don't know. I'm hoping it'll work out. And she's like, okay, we have you down for the 6th, and you can talk to coworker about the rest of the week tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, no, I can't predict how I'm going to react to surgery, but I guess we'll see how it goes. It's like, I can't talk to someone about the week after my surgery before my surgery. I don't know how long it's going to take me to recover. I don't know if I have an infection or if the gum is just tender because the tooth is trying to erupt. I don't know if it's just like the tooth is trying to erupt, so I'm teething, or if there's something more serious going on. I don't know if I'm going to be in pain. I don't know if I'm going to be strung out on Vicodin for a week. I have no idea. I don't actually like taking opioids because I like them. Yeah. I have an addictive personality, so I don't like taking opiates. And even when I was recovering from my C-section, I was like, please give me something other than Oxy. They did, but they also kept my prescription for Oxy. They just gave me the other thing in addition. There is a better than good chance I am going to need to be on pretty nasty meds. Oh, God, no. I hate surgery. Like, I wasn't too jazzed about the idea of a C-section either until I realized that I couldn't tolerate the pressure of the baby going out the traditional way. So I was like, okay, you know what? Drug me up, do the C-section, whatever. Sorry I fought it for 6 hours. And because they'd tried to give me Pitocin, and Lucius rejected the Pitocin, and they were trying to get me dilated, and they were looking with their they were looking with their hands and not with their eyes to see if I was dilated. I did not like that. Look, he was like, anyway, so I couldn't handle the pressure of pushing. They had one of those epidurals where you just press a button, you get more med sent to you because it just stays in there. So Stanford's really good about that. But yeah, no. And then during the C-section, when they didn't put me to sleep because they're like, it's not safe for the baby, but they did give me something to numb me. I ended up waking up during surgery twice and asking them, hey, stop what you're doing. I need more pain pills because I can feel what you are doing. Anyway, they also tied my tubes though, so that's great. So I have all the little blessing I need because I can't handle more than one baby. And he was a surprise blessing too, but he is all the blessing that I can handle because I am not a multi-children person. I didn't even think I was a one-children person. And he is showing me that I am definitely an up to one children. Yeah, I love him. I really do, and I'm glad I have him. I'm glad he exists because before I had him, I was an absolute mess. Y'all know about James. Well, anyway, he gave me something to focus on other than fixating on that. Anyway, you had to be on serious shit after years. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Well, I won't be able to have solids, but I will be able to have yogurt. So, take the antibiotics, get rid of the bad bacteria, and then eat the yogurt to put the good flora back. Yeah, so, yeah, my baby gave me something to do with my life and something to look forward to, because I have a million projects that I was like, okay, I can't die until I get this done. And then I would just be like, oh my God, life is so hard. I hate it so much. And I used to be suicidal every 2 weeks. That has cleared up since the baby. Oh, Ensure. Yeah, I was on Ensure while I was pregnant. I had like Ensure and then Minute Meal, or those like TV dinners. Yogurt, baby food, and Ensure. Yeah, I told Loki I'll be living on yogurt and applesauce. I forgot about Ensure. Aww. Okay. Yeah, Piffy is letting me know about the bamboo fiber, and yeah, okay. That does not help me with pricing because I am terrible at doing mathies in my head. I do mathies on a spreadsheet and all that, but like, if you want to cut, you can have a cut. If you don't want to cut, that's fine. Whatever. I tend to give 10% of, or I was giving 10% of my paycheck to various causes. You know, I sent some to RIP medical debt, which is ironic, and then sent some to Bell's for, you know, help with various things, and then sent some to, well, I bought a bunch of books. Yeah, I like went on my Amazon wish list, and I'm like set as a default for books and movies and stuff. So my dad accidentally bought some things with my card, some movies and stuff, but that's cool because I get to enjoy them too because we're part of that. Got to keep the vitamins going. Oh yeah. When I was pregnant, they were like, you can't just live on Ensure, and I was like, try me. And they had me like pricking my finger 4 times a day, and like even now. So I've got high blood sugar, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and liver damage, and so I'm not really supposed to take a lot of medicine anyway. And a lot of this is because I neglected my fitness for 10 years, and now I'm like, yeah. So I do believe that people can be healthy at most sizes. However, I am in the category that is decidedly unhealthy, and if I don't lose weight, I might not live to see 50. So I need to get in better shape, and you know, try telling that to the body pause community because they're just like, oh my god, no, you're beautiful. Yeah, I'm beautiful. My cholesterol isn't, and my blood sugar numbers aren't. So, you know. So yeah, I was living on Ensure, metformin, and TV dinners while I was pregnant, and then I had a friend, you know, and that barely kept me nourished. But you know, my baby was born healthy, so whatever, because it hurt too much to move around. And then like I had a friend tell me who was not pregnant, tell me, oh, I'm gonna go on the diet you're on because I'm fat, and I was like, I'm not doing this to lose weight. I realized that it is keeping me at an intake of 1,200 calories a day, but I'm not doing it to lose weight. I'm doing it because I can't move. I can't make myself food. And this is before I could afford Uber Eats. There was a brief, glorious couple months where I thought I could afford Uber Eats, and Loki and I were both using it a lot. And that was before the reality of, oh my God, I need my luxury bones removed, and the one, you know, place that offered to take me doesn't take insurance. That was before that happened. So I don't know if they're going to want payment same day as a consultation. They said they could do the extraction same day, but I'm going to have to let my banker know that, hey, I'm going to be basically withdrawing most of my savings account because I need my teeth removed. And I'm going to have to, and I'm so sad because I finally built it up to the number that we were looking at having like at the end of the year. I built that up by May. I was so excited, and now it's going to be gone. And I don't even know if it's going to be like more than that or less than that. And if it's more than that, well, I'm really unhappy about it, but I am very lucky that I have very good friends and family who are able to assist me with getting a necessary surgical procedure done. Like, I know not everybody is in that situation, and not everybody, you know, a lot of people rely on GoFundMe, and GoFundMe takes a cut, and the Facebook charities take a cut, and all that. Yeah. All right. still talking about, okay, fiber. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, she and I can discuss that later. I shouldn't be like sitting here staring at my phone like, oh, yeah, interesting. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. This is great. Yeah. Anyway, I've done my rant. I've been here for an hour. It is 1 a.m. I'm going to end the stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting and sticking with me. If you missed anything, watch the replay, and then like any comments that you want to leave, go ahead. This is directed at the people that are watching now. If you're like, actually, no, even if you're an obnoxious hater and you want to leave a comment, go ahead, share it. Tell your friends how annoying I am. Gets me views, gets me attention. And don't forget to subscribe to not this channel, but my other channel, Evan Dubb Productions, which I'm going to put up on the screen. Yes. Don't subscribe to this channel. There's nothing on this channel. But, or, I mean, you can if you want to. I'm not the boss of you. But subscribe to Clickety Clackety. Them. That's my show. That's my music. That's where all the good stuff is. I need to post another controversial thought video up there, which I have drafted, but I haven't. Anyway, cheers.